I know a lot of people don't ever want to think about the accident. Like, what does it mean to you when you look at it?
And I'm like, man, I can't get rid of her. It's my trophy. So when I look at it, it reminds me of life and how important it is to embrace life now and in the moment. Because look at that, I could have died, you know, and I'm still here. And even if I'm in a wheelchair, it could have been worse.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I am here in Key Largo, Florida with my buddy Carlos. Carlos is a complete para.
So I broke T7, but I'm pretty much T5 because I don't feel pretty much from my nipples, chest down. So I have no core movement. So I was on my bike riding home from the gym, my street bike, and I got cut off by a van. Didn't see me, I didn't see him. Pretty much wrong place, wrong time.
You told me a little bit about it was more than just a spinal cord injury. There was quite other complications.
So when I broke my spine, pretty much my T7, T8 vertebrae caused my aorta to get ruptured. My spleen got ruptured. My liver got messed up. My lungs got blood in them. I shattered my elbow and my knees got cut wide open.
You know, once you finally were told that you were paralyzed, like what did you start to think?
So pretty much when I first got injured, I had just opened my own business for detailing cars. I had just bought a van. Where's my business gonna go? Another thing was I was just progressing a lot in my gym. So I was thinking, wow, I can't work out anymore. I can't ride motorcycle anymore, you know? I'm not gonna be able to do all these active things. I'm a very active person. My lifestyle is gonna be super boring now.
I've seen you detail your car. Oh, I can't ride a motorcycle anymore. Oh, well, you're riding a four-wheeler that's just as fast as a motorcycle.
I proved myself wrong. Working out,
there you go.
I can't do as much as I used to do, but I adapt, you know? Pretty much my whole life I grew up like, you see a wheelchair, look away. Don't, you know, try not to stare.
Yeah, I think that's common. I think there's a lot of people that are so afraid of disability and that they're afraid to even look.
Yeah, they see me and they're like, oh, look away.
Yeah, they're like, let me just like bounce my eyes.
Oh, he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, which is like so dehumanizing.
I see it too sometimes that I see somebody, I catch somebody looking at me. I look at them and they'll quickly turn away, like if they weren't looking.
Yeah.
Like you were definitely looking at me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think all of a sudden the public believes that we're like deaf and we can't hear the whispers, or we're blind and we can't see the points and we can't see them.
No, they pretty much cut us out.
For me, it weighed on me psychologically. I felt worthless, I felt useless, I felt not important. I was a freak, I wasn't allowed to be a part of society, so why even try?
In the beginning, I didn't want to go outside, you know? Like, I didn't want people to see me in a wheelchair. People would invite me places, I would be like, nah, I'm staying home, which is wrong. You shouldn't feel embarrassed of what happened to you.
If I would have heard someone tell that to me, if someone would have rolled into my room and be like, hey, just so you know, like, you're not a freak, it's cool, like, you're good.
We didn't ask for this, bro.
We didn't ask for it, exactly.
We didn't ask for this, people don't realize that.
I get out of the hospital, you know, and I'm 50 pounds less, and I can barely move my elbow, and my legs look like jello, and I'm peeing all over myself.
Yep.
I definitely can't do any of this, ever. You know, and I told myself, no, and I can't for so many years, and then before I knew it, I found myself in a situation where I was fat and depressed, and I can't keep living this way.
I mean, honestly, it's been 3 years. I'm still not really over it. I have my days.
Everybody does.
You know, I have my days that I don't want to get out of bed, but you can't. You gotta get up. You gotta do it. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You gotta do it. I gotta pick my legs up, put them on the floor, put my butt on the wheelchair, do what I gotta do, man. We're still human. We still gotta live our life.
You can't quit, because quitting is almost a death sentence for guys like us. Our bodies stop working properly, we can get skin sores, we can get infections, tragically addicted to drugs.
I was actually addicted to Percocets.
Bro, same. My addiction story lasted a really long time. Where I had to eventually like go to rehab and everything.
And honestly, you end up finding excuses to take one. And it's just like before you know, you're taking one for no reason.
Yeah, you don't even need it, you're just taking it.
You're just taking it for, and then you make an excuse.
Addiction is super prevalent with individuals with spinal cord injuries because not only does it solve the problem of our pain physically, it solves the problem of our pain emotionally. But we're still learning how to cope. We've got a lot of stress, we got a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of uncertainty about the future, we're like panicked, we're worried. Gone. So you're like, oh, well, I need this because I'm in pain. But I don't need it for here or for here. But it works for that. You know, and then what happens is you start, you know, taking one at night for bed, and then one in the morning because you're sore, and then one in the afternoon just cause. And then before you know it, at least in my case, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 a day, like handfuls, bro.
Wow.
Handfuls. It's messed up.
So you're completely
100% no mind or mood altering substances, yeah.
That's props right there.
Appreciate it, bro.
I give you props.
Thanks, man.
That's hard.
For my first year of my injury, I had a lot of support. I had a lot of family and friends around, and then people were like, cool, you got this, see you later.
Yeah.
But that's not how life goes. And I made it back to work and school in 9 months, and I was stoked, man, because to me, I was like normal again. And I didn't really like hanging out with the wheelchair users because I thought they were kind of losers. And
yeah, that's what I was.
You know, I didn't want to play sports. I almost didn't want to accept it like that.
Yeah, you don't want to accept it. It's about the pride. You got to put your pride aside, man. And nowadays, I don't care, man. I don't even look at the people to see if they're looking. Because they're gonna look, so might as well give them something good to talk about.
Give them something good to look at. Psychologically, like I'm telling you, dude, like I think that might be some of the hardest hurdles to jump over is you see someone looking at you and then you decide what they're thinking.
That's what it is.
That's how I ended up kind of in this really bad addiction phase, taking all these pills and not eating and not even like showering or like washing my hair or shaving. Like I was just gross. Hey, person in there, guess what? You don't have to do what I did. I want it to be where you make it to that year, everybody leaves, but you're still kicking ass because you found your new normal. You're passionate about life, you've adapted, so when your support system kind of leaves, you're not just sitting around going, oh, I guess I just do drugs now. What were some of the things initially that you adapted that helped you regain your independence the most?
I figured out we could drive. I got a car, got some hand controls, put a turbo kit in it. I got a lot of support from driving because a lot of people, when I would get out of my car, they'll be like, whoa, like, how do you drive? You know, like I got back into the car lifestyle because I've always been about cars.
Recently, you've got yourself a four-wheeler that's been adapted.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video of a guy that was paralyzed just like me, and he was riding four-wheeler with adaptive equipment. If he could do it, I could do that.
You got the boat, you got the car, you got the four-wheeler, and tell them a little bit about the jet ski that you have.
The jet ski is cool because the jet ski is not, you don't really got to make it adaptive because the gas is pretty much with your fingers. All I had to do was I put a seatbelt, and then that keeps my butt from sliding, and then my legs will flop open. So pretty much I put a strap right here to keep my legs from flopping open, and that was pretty quick adaptation.
You have a basketball wheelchair.
Yes. When I first got injured at the hospital, they showed a film, Miami Heat on wheels, and that they were just all in wheelchairs playing basketball. So I was like, why not give it a shot? I applied for a basketball wheelchair on this Challenge Athlete Foundation. Basketball really gave me a lot of strength just to be in that vibe with other wheelchairs, just knowing that we're pretty much all similar. That vibe felt great.
We have this like a little secret brotherhood,
yeah.
You know, and it's not bound by age or race or religion. It's just, oh, you use four wheels to get around, so do I.
It makes us family.
Yeah.
Definitely does. Once we're in a chair, we can all relate somehow.
We tend to be, you know, cut from the same cloth in our own way. If you're a spinal cord injury patient and you have the mindset of, I got this, you're halfway there. The other half is, if I don't got this, I know someone who does. And the way that you have that is through community.
Help that newly injured person, you know?
Yeah, because we all have that person still inside of us, if you think about it. Like from like a psychological level, there's still that kid inside of me.
Yeah,
like,
you still remember that day in your bed, in your deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you were just dead, thought it was all over, but it was just a new beginning. It's a brand new start to a brand new life. Thank God you're still here and get to it.
Dude,
let's ride, bro.
Let's do it. BRZ.
So I put a turbo kit in it, pushing about 320 horsepower.
I noticed you've got wheel and tire package, suspension, and bolt-on exhaust. Anything else?
And I got the new seats inside. People ask me why I still have her, and I'm like, man, I can't get rid of her. It's my trophy. I earned this.
I know a lot of people don't ever want to think about their accident. Like a lot of people would want to get rid of everything. I know I did. What does it mean to you when you look at it?
It reminds me a lot about riding, and I miss riding like crazy. But also when I look at it, it reminds me of life and how important it is to embrace life now and in the moment. Because look at that, I could have died, you know, and I'm still here. And even if I'm in a wheelchair, it could have been worse.
All right, Carlos is about to show us how he gets into his jet ski.
So you strap this over here. Then my legs flop open, so I got a strap right here. Okay.
So fast, it was so scary, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize jet skis could go that fast. We just got done riding jet skis. Oh man, so sick. Now he's gonna show us his quad. All right, finally, the moment we have all been waiting for. This is the hand-controlled ATV. We're excited to show you guys. It's been modified so guys like us can ride it. Did you ever think you'd be able to ride an ATV again, man?
Honestly, nah. I didn't think I would have a way to shift. But then I found out about this pingo shifter, which is pretty much like an electronic piston that shifts up and down for you. And pretty much you just shift up and down. It's that simple. Let's check it out. Awesome. I just strap myself in, make sure I'm securely on the ATV. This little piece is $1,000. Pretty expensive, but I honestly think it's worth it to get me back on a bike.
Yo, Carlos, thank you so much for having us out today to try all your awesome toys, man. Be sure to find Carlos on Instagram. That's going to be linked down below. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. If you are also interested in what actually goes on behind the scenes of these videos, Andrew and I, who's actually behind the camera right now, have a behind the scenes podcast on Patreon. Be sure to hit that in the link below. And we'll see you guys next time.